Sorry, Ann. It's 6:02. I'm calling the meeting to order. Please rise. And I lead people in the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, for goodness sake.
Can we see it?
It's not with my eyes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It might fall on your head, Garvey.
Okay. Which one are we working from? I think that's done. So we've got several minutes to approve. The first one is the October 13th work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Move that we approve the October 13th work session meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, Zach moved. Neil, you seconded. Any discussion? Excuse me. Seeing none. Zach, you vote.
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Marianne?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Oh, crap. Oops. Sorry. Second one is the October 13th non-public work session number 1. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of the non-public work session number 1.
Okay, John moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Ooh, I think Neil had it inched by a nose there. But so therefore, John moved, Neil's seconded. Neil, your vote.
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Marianne?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Okay, the non-public, October 13th, non-public work session number 2. Is there a motion?
So move.
Okay, Neil moves. Is there a second?
Second.
John seconds. Any discussion? I'm on a roll now. Seeing none, Zach, you vote.
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Marianne?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. The October 13th regular meeting minutes.
So move.
Okay, John moves. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Marianne?
Now you know what we put up with.
Marianne seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none. Neil, your vote?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Marianne?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. And the select board will meet on the following dates. We'll have a regular meeting on Monday, November 9th. I guess I was saying the 8th, but it's the 9th. So November 9th and Monday, November 23rd, 2020. Work sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. And all the above meetings will be held via Zoom. And you can find dial-in information on the town's website at plymouth-nh.org. Town offices will be closed Wednesday, November 11th, 2020 in honor of Veterans Day. Citizens wishing to be listed on this, well, actually, regarding Veterans Day, we're looking to have a service on Wednesday, November 11th in front of the town hall. And we're putting together an event, and the town clerk, the town manager will post that on our website. Citizens wishing to be listed on the select board's agenda should notify the town hall before 12 p.m. the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Reopening of town offices. The town of Plymouth makes every attempt to follow the governor's orders with CDC updates and recommendations very closely regarding COVID-19. Due to cross-communicated information, it has been determined that the town hall, I think we already read this. Yeah.
Just how late when we're gonna.
So we're extending it until November 15th, 2020.
30th. November 30th.
Oh, there's an interim one, November 15th. Okay, so yeah, because we're going to maintain it closed until the 30th. Plans may change in the future. I'm sure we'll be informing you of that. Okay. And if you want to follow up with calling the town hall, we're at 536-1731. And you can reach the town clerk's office at 536-1732 from 8:30 to 4 p.m. And or the tax collector's office at 536-4733, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 until 2. 2020 Town of Plymouth Halloween trick-or-treating. We've already announced that we're not doing the downtown. We're not maintaining a traditional trick-or-treating around the downtown, but Parks and Rec, along with Plymouth Elementary School, will be offering Halloween afternoon activities during school the day before Halloween, Friday, October 30th. Anyone wanting to make a donation to make this event more successful may contact the Plymouth Parks and Rec Department.
Bill, this isn't on the announcements list and probably everybody knows about it, but should we announce the election next week?
Well, yes. Well, yes, Zach. Thank you very much. So there is going to be an election on November 3rd, and polls are open, 7 to 7? 8 to 7?
8 to 7.
8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it's going to be at Plymouth Elementary School. It's a dumb question. So are they, is the school closed? The school's,
The elementary school is closed for the day, yes.
okay, great.
She does ask for all members of the board to be present at the polls all day. So if you guys can make yourself open.
So
I need you all. Bill, you can't be there inside, right?
I could, but I'm not going to be.
Okay. So the rest of you will be available all day?
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. We'll let her know.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll be running around. So the next item, reappointment of Joe Fagnan as Transportation Advisory Committee Representative for Lakes Region Planning Commission. And do we have that, or is it just
You have an email from Jessica?
Yeah, we have the email.
Jessica Benatti?
Benatti?
Yeah, Bianati, whatever. I've been notified to send you a copy of TAC reappointment request from Joe Fagnan. Please review the attached letter and let me know if you have any questions.
So the board
Ju-
would just vote to reappoint Joe, and we'll contact them, send them a letter.
Sure. And Joe's, it's a reappointment. I mean, he's been serving as the TAC town person. So is there a motion to reappoint Joe?
So move.
Seconded.
All right, Neil moved, Zach seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mary Ann?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. All right. Appointment of Joan Turley to serve on the Plymouth Conservation Commission as a full member. And Joan sent an email that was received by the board. Actually, sent a letter. Dear Office of the Select Board, this letter is to request appointment to serve on the Plymouth Conservation Commission as a full member. As a resident of Plymouth, I care deeply about the quality of the land and water around us. I have a background in natural resource management through my work as a resource manager with the White Mountain National Forest, as stewardship coordinator for a local land trust, and as a former member of the Rumney Conservation Commission. By serving on the Plymouth Conservation Commission, I can continue with this work to help the town meet its conservation goals. Conservation Commission has reviewed my application and voted to approve my appointment. I hope you agree. Sincerely, Joan. Is there a motion?
So move.
Ooh, man, tie.
One of us, John can have it.
Neil can, go ahead, Neil. You're on the console.
Okay, I'm going to move that
All
we
right.
accept her application.
Okay. Neil moves. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. John seconds. Any discussion?
Her qualifications sound very impressive.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that she became a Plymouth resident. They used to live in Rumney, so we inherited her. So therefore, Zach, any other discussion? Seeing none, Zach, your vote.
Aye.
Neil,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Marianne,
Aye.
Bill, aye. And the acceptance sheet will be in your box or in the box when you come to pick up your budgets. Okay. Oh, well, we have a PSU update from Marlene Collingwood, who,
I didn't know.
there he is. Okay. Marlon, would you like to give us an update?
He's muted.
He is, and his video's off, but he was there a minute ago.
Hello?
Hey,
There
hi.
you are.
Hi, let me get the video back on. A little bit of technical difficulty here. Thank you all. It's still not letting me, but I'm going to go ahead and talk. Thank you all for inviting me. I'll give a brief update. We are into our final 20, I believe it's 27 days left in the semester. The semester will end 4 weeks from tomorrow, I believe would be correct, on that Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We continue to test students every week. We're testing on average about 3,500 people each week. We have seen a slight uptick in positive cases this past week. We've been averaging anywhere from 2 to 4, 5, 6 cases. Right now we have 13 active cases. That's not at all surprising given the rise in cases throughout the state. In fact, on our weekly call with Ben Chan, he told us last week that we should expect to see probably some rise in cases. Our positivity rate still remains very, very low. But we are taking that very seriously. We're encouraging our students not to leave the greater Plymouth area for the next 3 weeks or so. Feel like it's important that they stick around and that they stay here. I know that there are concerns that the town has about Halloween falling on a Saturday this year. I will say, and I don't think I've talked to many of you since Indigenous Peoples Day weekend, but our infamous pirate party did not happen. And I will say that the streets of the town were probably as quiet that weekend as I've seen them. We were very clear to all of our on and off campus students that we would not tolerate any of the large gatherings that typically happen on that weekend. And they abided by that. So I'm pleased about that. I felt like they did the right thing. They had a lot of encouragement from us to do the right thing, but also from neighbors and their fellow students. So we're hoping for the same responsible behavior on Halloween. We are planning several on-campus activities that day, socially distanced outdoors, and in the evening we're doing 3 events, I believe it is, movie nights that are going to be held with small groups in our larger buildings, masked and socially distanced, but trying to give students something to do on Halloween as opposed to just having nothing for them to do. So we're working hard with Student Life to make that happen. We anticipate that we will, we're actually continuing our testing of the whole campus through the week of finals. And then basically the campus will be closed from Thanksgiving until the end of December, until New Year's. We're asking most of our staff who are able to work remotely for that 6-week period, which will allow us to do some deep cleaning of residence halls. We will have a few students. Typically, we have anywhere from 30 to 40 students who will stay for that 6-week period, who have nowhere else to go. Either they're from far away or they don't have a home where they're safe. So we do provide them with housing and meals during that period of time if they're not able to travel or go home. And then our students, given again, dependent on where we are with COVID-19 in the states and in the country, but the plan is that our student athletes will start returning on January 2nd. And then classes begin a week later than normal. We're planning for the spring term to begin on January the 25th. We will be running straight through. We will not be having a spring break this year. All of the system schools, both Keene and UNH and Plymouth, we've all decided that we're not going to have a spring break. We are going to have a couple of mental health days spread throughout the semester, but the idea is to bring everyone back a week later. We'll be doing pre-arrival testing again of everyone who's coming back to Plymouth. So to get back into campus or to class or to a residence hall, they must have a negative COVID-19 test within 7 days of their arrival. And then we'll continue our weekly testing throughout the remainder of the semester, unless things improve in a way that we don't have to do that. But we're committed to doing that, and that's true on all 3 of our campuses. I'm also pleased, I just want to give a shout out to Josie. She and her comrades came to Plymouth last week on Tuesday and Thursday, and I believe she was able to register 60 or 70 students, I believe, at least on the first day. I haven't gotten an update from her on the Thursday afternoon event, but it was a great opportunity for our students, and I know some of our students volunteered with her to run the absentee voting and the registration tents. So I want to thank her and that team for coming, and I think it was great for our students. We will be running our traditional all-day shuttles from Highland Street, from Prospect Dining Hall to the polls throughout the day on next Tuesday. So those will start at 8 in the morning and go until 7 at night. Again, we have 5 shuttles. We'll probably be running at least 2 of them throughout the day, basically every hour on the hour. Those have been retrofitted, so they only seat 7 people with plexiglass and seats crossed off. But I think that's important for our students to have that opportunity to be able to come to the polls, although I do know that a lot of them did register and vote absentee while Josie was on campus. And our goal there was to try to limit the amount of people that were going to come to the polls if at all possible. So thank you all for helping to encourage Josie to do that, and thank her very much for her good work there. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Marlon. Yeah, so Kathy wants to.
Okay. Marlon, I just wanted to know, do you or can you enforce or reinforce our mask ordinance with your students?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I do. I mean, I see, and it's not just them, but I see them and people walking around. Half of them have a mask on, half of them don't. And it kind of seems like, I mean, I kind of thought the signs were good while they were there, but because the signs are gone doesn't mean the mask ordinance is
Agreed.
gone.
Yeah, Kathy, it's a great point. And I will say this, and it's not just Plymouth State. I think the entire country's biggest battle right now is COVID fatigue, right? Yeah. So I think people are letting their guards down. And I know we were, and some of you I think came, we were, Dr. Deborah Burks came and visited us 2 weeks ago. And that was the thing that she said she's facing across the country are folks who have been really doing the right thing, but it's getting really tiresome, right? So yeah, we do that, Kathy. We will make another, I send twice a week emails to students that remind them of all of the protocol that we have, including the testing and the mask wearing and social distancing. But I think a special email to say that just because you don't see the signs on Main Street doesn't mean that anything's changed and that they need to wear their masks. So I will definitely do that.
Thank you.
Hey, so Marlon, I got a question about the limits. Isn't it like 25 students you are then like remote from dormitories and 50 students that are positive?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a percentage. It's not. So our trigger points, we're nowhere near any of our trigger points. Our trigger points are based on how many isolation and quarantine beds that we have. So right now we have 90 isolation quarantine beds and only 20 of them are being used. So it's based on the percentage of those quarantine beds and isolation beds, and then it's based on our positivity rate, Bill. So our positivity rate as of yesterday, I haven't seen it today, but was right around 0.43%. So what if it would get up to 0.75% or above, then we would look at that being a trigger point for possibly going remote for classes.
Are any of the other universities in the university system experiencing a worse caseload than PSU, or?
Our caseloads are all about the same. Now, I haven't seen Keane's because Keene does their testing on Thursdays and Fridays. We do ours on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So our results come in at different times. So I haven't seen theirs. I know Keene up until this point had been averaging about what we were, anywhere from 3 to 6 cases a week. UNH is trending higher, but not really in a percentage of their population much higher than we are, right? So for us, 13 cases with 3,500 tests a week. I think they're at 46 cases with about 13,000 tests a week. So it's not much difference from a percentage wise. They did see a slight outbreak at the law school in Concord last week. Again, a small number, but that was kind of the first that they'd seen that there. So we're keeping a close eye. We have our rapid response team works around the clock, right? So as soon as a positive case comes, we contact trace with them. We work closely with the state. But at 13, I'm really still feeling really good about where we are. That could all change. And we're watching closely our testing that began today and see where we are this week. I will also say that 2 positive things from a testing standpoint. Beginning tomorrow, we will open up our own small lab on campus. So we'll be able to do 200 to 300 tests a week, and we're going to use that for some surveillance testing of specific groups of students. And also we are in the process by Thanksgiving, we will have in time for next semester, we will have our own rapid testing machine. So we were able to purchase a rapid test machine. This is similar to the machine. It's a Sophia Quidel machine, the same that's out at Midstate right now. So it will allow us to test symptomatic students, faculty, and staff with results back in about 15 minutes. Those results are 100% accurate for negative and about 97% accurate with positive. If you get a positive test on those machines, then we do a full PCR test immediately, and you stay in quarantine, isolation actually, until that result is back to confirm that it's a positive. But that will allow us, once we have that in place, that will allow us to keep a lot of our students who have allergies or who are sick with strep throat or the flu, that kind of thing. It will allow us to test and rule out COVID in about 15 minutes, which will make a big difference in our ability to quarantine and isolate students who are showing COVID-like symptoms but don't have COVID.
That's great.
And then we began this week, today actually, giving out free flu shots. So we purchased 3,000 doses of the flu vaccine, and we were offering that free to faculty, staff, and students who are on campus or attending classes in person. So that began today down at testing and will continue through the second week of November, I believe.
Very good. Any other questions?
And I would just say you can always check plymouth.edu, the fall opening at the top of the page. Click on that, and our daily update is there. And then our weekly dashboard is posted every Friday afternoon, which shows you our testing metrics throughout the week.
Marlene, one quick question. During the Deborah Burke's event, one of the students went to the mic and talked about some speakeasies that were happening.
Yeah. So
have you looked into that at all? Do you know?
Oh, yes, we have looked into that, and I will say that we have our silent witness, our tip line, right, that we have on our website has been extraordinarily successful with both students and community members who will give us a heads up, sometimes with specific addresses, that I hear there's a party happening this time on this night, that kind of thing. We've been able to head off some of those. There have been some small gatherings. There was a gathering this weekend that we were told about, and then were involved in breaking up basically at a house in Plymouth that had 40 or 50 students at it. I will say that the Plymouth police, the university police, and our Dean of Students office acted very quickly. Those 4 students that hosted that party have been interimly suspended, and they're going through the conduct process, just as we had warned them they would. And those students who we were able to find out attended the party have all been given priority testing this week. And then they too will be looked at as to whether or not they need to go into the conduct process. So they're out there. Unfortunately, it's not a surprise. I was actually pleased that he asked that question because in some ways, again, I think the other Dr. Burks was very clear in saying that, her belief is, and I think we're seeing this in New Hampshire, that, the real danger over the next 3 or 4 months is going to be those smaller indoor gatherings with people that you think or you think are not don't have COVID. And I think we're emphasizing to our students that if they are inside with a group of 5 or 6 or a group of 10 or 12, wear your masks in the house. That's a little different, right? Because up until this point, most people had been assuming that if I lived with my roommates in the house, or I lived with my family and happened to have a couple guests in, I wouldn't need necessarily to wear my mask, but that is the new recommendation. So Zach, they are out there. We're working hard to find them. When we do find them, there are consequences.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much, Marlon.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate all you're doing.
And I am happy to Zoom in for your next meeting as well and give you an update in 2 weeks.
Great.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
On.
See ya. All righty. So next order of business, we have Ann Hebert.
Actually, Scott is zoomed in. I would ask him to
Okay.
kind of explain the situation.
So it's a pre-disaster mitigation grant.
Yep.
Okay. Scott, you want to present?
Yes. So in front of you tonight, you have the grant agreement that came from Homeland Security Emergency Management. And a little background on that is that I worked with Paul Hatch, our area representative, as well as the grant team at Homeland Security to fill out the application, and worked with Kathy with regards to picking the consultant. And the consultant that we would be using is Jane Hubbard from Hubbard Consultant LLC, who the town of Plymouth has used for the last 2 plan updates. We did look at other consultants and vendors, but came back to being Jane has served the town of Plymouth very well in updating the mitigation plan, so we stayed with her. And currently, you'll see that has to be noted in the meeting minutes tonight. When I send this back on November 12th, if you approve it tonight and move forward, we have to provide a current liability and workers' comp insurance certificate. And when you look at the cost, and I just received the proposal from Jane tonight, the grant is for $9,000, and the town has to match $3,000 on that. And with what I saw tonight in her proposal, it's about $2,300 that the town would match. Her cost is a little bit less than others that are out there. But this would put the process in motion. We would start meeting in the month of May and meet monthly up until the plan is completed in September and submitted to Homeland Security as well as New Hampshire Emergency Management.
Okay.
And Scott, if I'm right, I think that our time that we spend with her putting, updating this thing counts towards our match.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any comments from the board? So,
On the very front page, it says vote for acceptance of grant FFY 2019 pre-disaster mitigation for updating the local hazard mitigation plan. I just asked that the board, there's a paragraph there saying the selectmen, majority vote, accepted the terms of the pre-disaster mitigation grant as presented in the amount of $9,000 to update the local hazard mitigation plan. Furthermore, the board acknowledges that the total cost of the project will be, I had 12,000 in here, in which the town will be responsible for a 25% match of $3,000. Further, the town manager, Catherine Lowe, is authorized to sign all documents related to this grant. So that would be my request for your motion.
okay. Is there a board member that moves?
So moved.
All right, John moved. Is there a second?
Aye.
Marianne seconds. Any discussion?
Scott, when was our plan last updated?
Our plan last was updated 6 years ago. Each plan is good for a 6-year period. So it expires September of 21.
And you may know the question, had we budgeted to update this plan this year?
There is money in the budget to cover the town's portion of updating the plan.
We have money right now in the emergency management portion of the budget that would cover this.
And as you indicated, any work that we were to provide would be part of the match as well.
Any time that we put in
Yeah, so,
meetings and
So
whatnot,
it may not even,
yeah,
we might not need anything.
pretty much all department heads that work on the project for the
Okay.
most part. So that 2,400, 2,500 would be utilized quickly.
all right. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Neil, your vote.
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Marianne,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye.
Bill, aye. Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you.
So Kathy, can you just sign that before you leave?
Where is it?
It must be in here.
Do I have this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Scott, we'll have that ready either tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest for you to pick up.
Great. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay.
All right. Next item, Lisa Donor, Plymouth Conservation Commission Oxbow Recreation Project. You want to take it from here, Lisa?
Yes, sure. So this is a follow-up meeting and a request based on the Plymouth Conservation Commission initiative, working with the Holderness Conservation Commission and the White Mountain Trails Collaborative to acquire lands in the what we call the Oxbow area, which includes Plymouth, 2 lots in Plymouth, one currently owned by the Plymouth Athletic Club and the other by the Lakes Region golf courses, as well as several similar properties held by or contained within Holderness. And the proposal is from to the state of New Hampshire's Land and Water Conservation Grant. We had submitted a pre-proposal letter of intent that requested $800,000 be allocated for this, with a 50% match coming from the 2 towns, the White Mountain Trails Collaborative, and volunteer efforts. And we now have commitment from the town of Holderness for their collaboration, from the Holderness School to allow us to create an easement on their land. We have a very strong letter of commitment and initial budget agreement from Phil Friel, who owns the White Mountain Country Club, to sell those properties, all of his properties, in that area for $300,000. And we also have agreement from Ben McLean to sell or to gift some property adjacent to the, what do they call it? The Holderness Riverine Park, in order to create a little bit more parking capacity there on South River Street. So with this fall, the last time I spoke to you, we weren't quite sure whether or not Holderness would be wanting to pick up all of the properties in order to simplify the grant request. We've decided in the interim months to have both towns be co-owners of properties on this grant. And that means that Plymouth would be buying the property in Plymouth, and that includes South or Secret Beach. And we are asking, the Plymouth Conservation Commission is asking of the Board of Selectmen to support this, but also to allow the Conservation Commission to have a warrant article supported by the Board of Trustees to expend our capital reserve funds if this is granted, so that we can match some of those monies in order to acquire these lands. And we're asking for up to $25,000, which is currently in the capital reserve and was built specifically for purposes like this, so that we could have leverage through match. What kind of questions can I answer for you?
Well, we kind of like discussed this actually in our work session. And in fact, when I went to the meeting, the Conservation Commission meeting, I wasn't aware that Juliet ended up recreating the map with color coding. And I wasn't, quite certain about that the chunk at the bottom. It's a 77-acre. It's basically in the town of Ashland.
Yes.
So I didn't think that Ashland was that involved in it, but I guess, and I know at our meeting you indicated that you'd be reaching out to either, Kathleen DeWolf or Eli Badger, just to give them a heads up that, ultimately this will be put into conservation and be part of the trails.
Yes. All of this land is currently used in an ad hoc way for trails. The Snowmobile Club, the Snowbusters, has trails that cross all of these properties, including that Ashland track. There's bike trails throughout that area. There's walking trails that get actively mowed in order to keep down, ticks and poison ivy in the walking area that go around that Ashland part of the field. So we don't think it's a terribly big ask. And all of that Ashland property that is up for in this proposal is owned by Phil Friel as part of that Lakes Region Country Golf Courses Inc. And so what he's doing is he's selling off a batch of property, regardless of what town it is. And then we're just portioning out which towns are able to raise money to help offset the cost of purchasing that property from him.
Okay. Any other questions?
Who's going to own the property that's in Ashland?
That'll probably be Holderness, because we only have 25,000 that we're putting to this. The Holderness Conservation Commission has 125,000 that they're putting towards this. And then the rest of the match will be in-kind labor put in by the White Mountain Trails Collaborative for fees, consultancy fees, trail building fees, materials. And if there's any shortfall, then there will be probably other grants that will be written by the White Mountain Trails Collaborative to help fulfill that. We had initially thought to do this in a couple of stages, and we may still have to if if the Plymouth Athletic Club that's currently being run by Bill Gothier, he's a brand new president and their treasurer is brand new, and they don't have all of the documents at hand to tell them whether or not they can sell it, deed it, whether it's already in a trust. They don't know the status of that land. And so it's quite likely that we won't be able to find that out until after the grant submission deadline, which is this Friday.
Who's responsible for the maintenance going forward? A group effort again, or?
Yes, a lot of the partners on this that are kind of silent partners are already maintaining those trails. So the Snowbusters Club maintains their trail, and the Pemi Valley sector of the North, what is it called? The New England Mountain Biking Club, NEMBA. They're the ones that created the gyro trail, and they go in after floods and they clear out fallen logs and they sweep the trails free of excess sand. And they have agreed to continue that trail upkeep. So we're not anticipating that there will be a lot of excess upkeep other than, signage, but that a lot of that signage will go in initially as part of the initial funding, kiosks, rules and regulations about how, appropriate use of this property. Secret Beach, as a party destination, what we're really anticipating, since this would be a state conservation area for recreation, it will have to abide by state rules of use, which at least at Livermore Falls includes no alcohol. So that could be a really nice change that could improve the quality of use at that beach and make it a lot more family friendly, visitor friendly. I know this year, without the students here, I've spent a lot more time at that beach just hanging out because it's clean. It's wide open, and it's a really beautiful when there's not debris to be worried about.
Any other comments?
Do they have recycling receptacles down there?
There's nothing down there right now because nobody.
Carry in, carry out?
None of the entities that are maintaining the trails actually own or have any real rights on that land. And the landowners haven't put forth any, volunteer offerings to have trash receptacles or recycling or outhouses. We've pretty much been advised not to try and put outhouses down there.
Oh, yeah.
Intending it to be a short enough use that people shouldn't need outhouses. And trash receptacles, that's, I don't know. I argue with people all the time about whether there should be trash receptacles at trailheads because they tend to invite dumping.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think I think what's more likely to happen is that there will be periodic trail cleanups.
Yep. Okay. Good. Thank you.
I have a question. Is there evidence of homeless people inhabiting this area?
The only evidence that I've seen is during the height of COVID from May, June, and into parts of July, there was a tent there, and 2 people were camping in that tent down near the secret beach. I have seen some signs of shelter building in the floodplain forest, off sort of within the woods as you walk away from Secret Beach, but you're still in the woods. There was an area where I saw that there were trees cut down and a lean-to structure kind of built, but there was no evidence of campfire and there was no evidence of trash or debris. So it could very well have been, Boy Scouts practicing their Boy Scout skills or something. I haven't seen much of a concern in that forested area.
Thank you.
Okay. And Lisa, what you'd like from the board is approval for the project itself, and then also to draft a letter similar to what Holderness Select Board did.
Yeah, because the state wants to see that the town is aware of the project and supports it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'm seeking a motion, perhaps, from one of the members.
We authorize Lisa and the Conservation Commission to move forward with their application for this project.
And that we pen a letter in support.
Yes.
Okay. Neil moves. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Zach seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mary Ann, your vote?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. And
Thank
so
you.
you'd like that letter prior to Friday, I take it?
Yeah. Because of a COVID outbreak in Concord, they won't let us drop it off. So we have to mail it, but it can be postmarked on Friday.
All right. And similarly, we're trying to work out a PERLAC meeting for the 29th. And I think there's only one person that responded to my email. Can you make the meeting on the 29th, or
Yes, I can.
either the 3 or 7 o'clock? There's only the two options there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're working on a quorum. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. Oh, goodness. Where'd I put it?
Grace Garvey.
I tossed my agenda.
It's Grace Garvey.
Here we go. I'm sorry. Grace Garvey. Are you here? You're here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, for some reason you're muted, even though you don't have the mute on. Uh-oh.
Voice.
Maybe mute yourself and unmute yourself. See if you can. Okay, you're muted. Now you're unmuted.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, good evening, everyone. So I'm here to give you all a brief update on the research that a small group of us in Plymouth have been doing to move the conversation that we had in 2017 forward about having a solar PV array at the property next to the transfer station. We've met 3 times, and Ted Van Zant of New England Commercial Solar Services was also kind enough to do a little research for us and give us some feedback, because he's got, boots on the ground with solar PV projects. And he was actually one of the original people that bid on the contract in 2017. Ted, unfortunately, gave us some less than favorable information about the current climate, so to speak, for PV arrays. And I'll just run through those really quickly. And we're still doing research and we're trying to crunch some numbers, but I just want to update you in all candor, in all candor, basically. So one thing that's really changed since 2017 is that the retail cost of electricity is much lower than it was in 2017, basically. So, and 2 factors have been influencing that. One is actually COVID. The data is showing that COVID has decreased the demand for power. And also there's been more natural gas fracking, which is a very cheap form, apparently, of energy. So what's happened is that PV has become a little bit more expensive when you feed that energy back onto the grid. So basically, if you remember that the idea for the array at the transfer station would be when the station was open and the sun was out and power was being generated, then the transfer station would use that energy directly. And when it wasn't open, all that energy would be fed in a group net metering format, so that the town offices could benefit from that and get a credit from the New Hampshire Electric Co-op. Back in 2017, the credit was about 10 cents a kilowatt hour, but right now it's dropped to about 61. I'm sorry, let me do that again. In 2017, it was 0.096 cents per kilowatt hour, and today it's 0.061. So it's approximately 63% today of the value that it was in 2017. And I hope this makes sense. I mean, we're sort of scratching our heads and trying to assimilate all the information that Ted gave us. The third thing that he was telling us about is that in 2017, the federal tax grant was 30% greater than it is now, which is only about 22%. So all of these factors have put it such that proposing a solar array is not as economically feasible or beneficial right now. But we are working with a group up in Shelburne, and they're with the Shelburne Energy Committee. That's Shelburne, New Hampshire, because one of their members on their committee created a funding model into which you can plug data. And I'm actually working with Anne to try and get more current electricity usage data that we can plug into this person's models. To basically what it does is it spits out different kind of funding options and an assessment about whether different funding options are economical and feasible and viable. And I hope that makes sense. And in the meantime, this group locally, the folks who are working locally in Plymouth and who have met 3 times so far, have been talking with Clean Energy New Hampshire about a community power initiative. And actually, I didn't see Henry Herndon on the agenda, but I had asked Kathy Lowe if he could give you a quick update on what the community power method is, and just give you a little background about that. Would it be okay for him to speak for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so Henry's here, and I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
Hi, folks. My name's Henry Herndon. I'm employed by Clean Energy New Hampshire. We're a nonprofit, education-focused organization here in the state. And just so I'm clear, I can provide I know it's not listed on the agenda, so the community power, it's a new opportunity here in the state, and I'll just speak briefly, I guess, for a short couple of minutes to provide the highest level overview. Is that appropriate?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, and I can share some written materials, but I'll just do an oral sort of rundown quickly for you. Legislation enacted in 2019 was the community power law, and this granted new authorities to cities, towns, and counties in New Hampshire. And what it did was it enabled a community like Plymouth to enact a community power aggregation. And what that means is Plymouth could, by vote of town meeting approval, authorize a program where you would procure and supply electricity on behalf of all of your residents and businesses in aggregate. So this is a bulk procurement of electricity for the community as a whole, similar to if you negotiate electric contracts with Constellation or another one of those suppliers, only procuring electricity for your community, all of your residents and businesses collectively. And a lot of communities are excited about this new opportunity and looking at implementing the first programs in 2021. And some of the benefits folks are excited about is potential to provide rates that are cost competitive with their utility company for residents and businesses. Folks are interested in procuring, some communities are interested in clean energy procurements, or actually building new local renewables that supply in part that portfolio for the community, and a number of other innovations. So there's a process where you would draft a plan and bring that to town meeting if your community was interested, and either vote it up or vote it down, and that would authorize you to then go and procure power without committing you to any sort of financial commitment. And I guess the last thing I'll say, this is a very quick overview of a detailed topic, but the last thing I'll say is there's an initiative in the state, Community Power New Hampshire, by which some of the leading communities are establishing a new nonprofit that would sort of act as the New Hampshire Municipal Association for Community Power. So a locally governed nonprofit that handles some of the administrative and technical back end of negotiating electricity procurements in bulk. And then members or communities could join this organization as members to handle the logistics. That organization is called Community Power New Hampshire. That's a really quick overview of a detailed topic, and I'm happy to pause there and take questions, or perhaps there's another time where we could go further into detail, but something that the select board may want to have on its radar.
All right. Thanks, Henry. Is this related to what Joyce Weston brought to us? That gentleman that spoke to something that sounded very similar to what you're proposing? Are there any municipalities that are currently doing this?
So no municipalities have implemented yet. The first programs will probably move forward mid-2021. The Public Utilities Commission has to finalize some regulatory rules before communities can move forward. But folks are beginning to get their plans ready and getting ready for launch and supplying power to all their residents and businesses, perhaps mid-2021 to start.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the board?
And I just wanted to add, if it's okay, Bill, the reason why this local group that I've been working with, who has been interested in solar PV, the reason why we're interested in this community power piece, and the reason we asked Henry to maybe give you a quick overview, is because it gives us a little bit more autonomy and power over choice of purchase power. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I'm sorry, we're okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, we figured out on a back channel, maybe we mute John's mic.
It's muted.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Grace, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure where I left off. I think I'm done. I think we just wanted to kind of, reveal some of the snags that we've run into about solar PV, and also introduce this concept of community power. We still have some work to do, so hopefully we'll come back to the select board maybe later in this year, early next year, with kind of an update of what we've done for research and where we are at that point. And maybe we could have Henry back. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, Grace, if I may, I think what you were getting at as well is there's a local control aspect of this, and really democratizing energy procurement down to the community level. So one of the reasons communities are really excited is this grants full control to the municipal level, to the local level, in deciding what do we want to prioritize in our energy goals, be it cost reduction or clean energy, and it gives you the control to choose those things as a community. So really, really empowering, which is one of the reasons we're excited about it. But I think that was what you were touching on, Grace.
Yes.
All right.
Any questions?
Any other questions? Well, it's a start, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention, and it'll be, we'll continue to work on this, and I appreciate that, Grace, at least you got a few people together too. Is this now the Plymouth Energy Commission, or is it just like a precursor?
Let's hope it's a precursor. No one's committed to joining an official commission as yet.
Okay. All right. Well,
I hope that we can encourage Grace to keep going.
yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Grace and Henry.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. All right. Committee reports. Does anyone have a committee report? See, the public is leaving before the public has a chance to comment, but
On the bottom.
Jane's here. I think Jane wanted to talk about
Oh, okay.
Halloween. Jane. She didn't hear Marlon's update, so
well, she was here for Marlon.
she got here late.
She was still on for the majority of the time there.
Better unmute. She's muted.
She's trying.
Get on in the corner in the bottom on the left.
Got it.
Hey, there you
Yep.
go.
We here?
Yeah.
You're here.
Thank you, Marianne, for all you did running interference for me. No, I pretty much answered my questions because, you know, we've got cameras in the front of our house now and at the side of our house for the back parking lot at 10. And, you know, my concern is, of course, I feel like I should have a mask on right now. But, you know, my concern, of course, is the amount of kids that I see going into the back of 10. And Walk to Campus, Bruce Wiggett and Steve Rowe, who works for Walk to Campus on weekends, have been so on top of things because, you know, we still worry as a community that some of these younger kids, and justifiably so, they're young and they're in college, it's a time of their life. They're just not taking it seriously. So when I see on my camera that 15, 16, 17 plus kids go up the back stairs to the one apartment without masks, I get concerned. And, you know, our streets are much quieter, probably because of COVID and, you know, a lot to do with just, I think, the general police department's involvement and the college's involvement. And it's been wonderful, but I was just concerned about that because, you know, I kind of try to keep on top of and watch what's going on and respect everybody's right to safety. And so, you know, again, we will not be doing anything for Halloween, but I just kind of was wanting to make sure that the college was on board and, you know, safety standards were in place and how would it be handled if there's crowds of kids in the street, which I think there will be, unmasked and going from party to party. So, but they were answered. And thank you again, Marianne. I can't thank you enough.
And Jane, did you hear Marlon's report?
Yes, I heard.
All of it?
Yes, pretty much all of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like they're taking this very seriously and also taking advantage of the, you know, the communications from, you know, other people saying, oh, there's a party here and there. So I think they're very much on top of things.
Right.
So.
Right. And I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome. For at least for getting Marlon on board, but
right.
So yeah, in fact, do the police have access to your cameras?
Oh yes. We
Great.
recently had, right at the beginning of the year, there was a really bad fight in the back parking lot, which I heard and went back and looked at it, and the police did use it to find out, you know, the he said, and figure out if somebody was going to get arrested or not for assault. So I think that went well. You know, it's not that I want to, it's just that I think in the past, you know, for lack of a better, I don't want to be a Karen or a complainer, and just, it's not about the noise, it's about the safety of what's going on back there, you know, and there has been a lot of crazy things happen over the years. We've all seen it. It's a college town. And, you know, so I think it's been a great help to Walk to Campus and the police to see what goes on. You know, I don't want them to think I'm embellishing it. Besides, it is loud. It's crazy loud. It's right outside my bedroom window.
And you had a very compelling report that you provided to us regarding last year's pirate party.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You were trying to like help some youth that were lost and inebriated and in your yard.
We kind of had a good time with them. They were from Rhode Island. They were completely intoxicated, and I didn't want them getting back on the road and they didn't want to. And they were just disappointed because they said they thought there would be porta potties and food trucks here. I said, no, that's not how it works. So we did. We had them. They came in the house, they sobered up, and about an hour and a half later, they hit the road. But they were a lot of fun.
Well, at least you think so.
Well, I mean, for that, no, last year was not fun with the Pirates Party. It was something I don't want to see happen continuously in this town.
Well, hopefully not. But
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And any other public comment? I saw Dick Hage, but he walked off. So, well, in that case, any other committee reports? I think we didn't really touch on that. Mary Ann, Neil.
Yeah, just a quick one. A couple of us Main Street business owners met with Don Jutton today to discuss the whole water sewer project that's coming through Main Street. I think it was a really good discussion. Lots of rumors that had been floating around. It's still certainly the beginning. We're trying to get, obviously, the word out to more and more businesses, which is a little more difficult than it should be. And you know, most of us already know it's still a high level project. And we certainly had many detailed questions that couldn't be answered completely yet. Obviously, most of them around parking, which is an issue in and of itself. But, you know, one person thought it was going to be a 4-year project. So it was nice to know for her that, no, it wasn't going to be a 4-year project. And all the efforts that Don and his team are doing to mitigate the issue. So still a lot to go, but a good conversation today.
Great. That is good. And it's a conversation that we tried to get going for, I guess, a couple of years. I know even Paul wanted to get the downtown businesses together and, you know, make certain that they were facing reality when
Right.
when water and sewer goes through town. So
right, we've been able to gather a lot of the email addresses, and now it's just kind of encouraging businesses to be aware and to raise their concerns, because that'll help with the whole planning phase of it, and obviously the execution if Don and his team know the impact of each of the businesses and try and work around them when possible.
true. Okay. Thank you. Any other reports? And Dick, do you have anything to say? Were you going to comment on anything?
He's got to unmute.
Yeah, but he's thinking about it. Maybe not. Maybe he just wanted to see what was going on. So,
He's eating dinner.
You
so
got to unmute there. Get on the bottom.
Gotta swallow first.
yeah, he's finishing his supper. So,
Hi.
hi.
No, I'm good, Bill.
All right, thank you. So in that case, we have no other business. And
I make a motion to adjourn.
very good. Okay, Mary Ann moves.
Oh, wait. I got a whole list of things I want to
Discussion.
Too late, Dick. Too late.
Neil, you seconded, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, Zach, your vote.
Aye.
Mary Ann,
Aye.
Neil,
Aye.
Bill, aye. We're adjourned.